Something that's defined television since the dawn of its inception is talk shows. The concept is simple, really. You get a person/famous person, give them a show with their full name plastered as the show name, and have them talk about miscellaneous random topics to fill up people's boredom through the day. Now, for me, growing up in the 2000s and 2010s, you saw an absolute explosion of this everywhere on TV. Like, damn near every celebrity was just getting a talk show at their own request. It's kind of like the podcast era we're in right now, where literally any single person on the internet just has their own podcast all of a sudden. So today I mainly want to talk about the mainstream talk shows we all know, which funny enough end up having the worst, terrible, most damaging messages to people, the most sneaky, conniving hosts running the show, and overall just the amount of sheer evil this era has caused on television and the damage it's done to people. So let's first start off with one of the basics, the Jerry Springer Show. The Jerry Springer Show started in 1991, and the premise was simple, really. Have the most shocking, jaw-dropping, demented people to publicly embarrass themselves in front of millions of people daily. Like, I don't know what it was, but I keenly remember turning on the TV every day when that was still a thing and seeing the show playing. Jerry must have had pockets full to the brim and unlimited budget the way he was airing these stories daily. And honestly, even calling his stories is really pushing it. It would pretty much just be A, person walking into show, B, person introducing themselves and their problem, C, the said problem walking into the show, and D, massive fights just breaking out of nowhere and anywhere in the crowd. So if you don't really know the Jerry Springer Show, pretty much just take that premise I told you and put it across 4,969 episodes. I knew it was long, but goddamn, I did not know it was this long. 4,969 episodes of families, relationships, everything just being made fun of in front of a full crowd and millions of people watching at home. And I already know there's gonna be some nerd-ass nigga being like, well, Tommy, they're actually the ones that volunteer to be on the show, so you're completely wrong in that aspect. Why are you even talking bad about it? And you know what? To people that say that, you're absolutely 100% right. They do volunteer to be on the show. But it still doesn't make it any better. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the show wasn't funny and you can't enjoy because of that aspect. Like, who wouldn't want to see such classic episodes like, I got your dog and your man. She wants to marry her cousin. I trapped my daughter's man. Oh, this is my favorite one, guys. This is really my favorite. Girlfriend finds out her boyfriend is black.
But I have a confession to make. I'm black.
You're what? John, how come you didn't tell me you were black, you lying son of a bitch? You know how much I hate n****. My family hates n****. Oh, you just
You could tell obviously some of the guests are playing into it and just really don't care. And you know what? Let's say they do deserve it perhaps because they're the ones signing up for the show and they should know what they're getting into. But what personally shocked me the most out of all of this is how much the guests actually get paid for being on this show. According to sources online, they don't even get paid! The only reason it's considered paid is because they get a flight from and back to where they live and a hotel with food. Like, I know damn well the Jerry Springer Show was making millions of dollars daily. They couldn't slide a couple of bucks to the guests? It's kind of a double-edged sword for me because on one hand, you chose to publicly embarrass yourself for 15 minutes of fame, but on the other hand, everyone at that goddamn show's production knows it and doesn't bat an eye. And by the way, in no way am I personally putting hate onto Jerry Springer himself. Like, I never just plainly disrespect the dead like that. But even before he passed away, Jerry Springer issued an official apology to the people for his show. Quote unquote, I just apologize. I'm so sorry. What have I done? I've ruined the culture. I just hope hell isn't that hot because I burn real easy. I'm very light complected, which is really haunting to see considering he died this year. Like, I couldn't imagine the type of demons he was fighting inside of his head. But you know, if even Jerry Springer apologized, then all the shows that copy this format need to ASAP. Because there was God knows how many formats of this going on TV at the time. The Maury Show, Dr. Phil Show, the Steve Wilkos Show. But a little emphasis on Maury. I think Maury single-handedly started that whole meme of black fathers just poof, never being there. And the weird thing is that it's not like he didn't have white people or any other races on the show. But why is it every time I see one of these goddamn compilations, it's a bunch of niggas breakdancing after hearing they're not the father? He definitely set back the black community a solid 100 years in America. But you know, at least Maury paid his guests an amazingly huge amount of $300 for the entire day. Another talk show host in a different category that I couldn't stand was Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz really had a grasp on the women over 40 population in the 2000s and 2010s. He's mainly known for giving basic health advice on things with cool screen effects, I guess. Like, wow, did you know that if you eat an apple a day, it can keep the doctor away? And let me make one thing clear to y'all. When I say health advice, let me put a big emphasis on the word fat. Just search up Dr. Oz's name on YouTube with fat, and there's hundreds of videos about how to lose fat, belly fat, fat in places you didn't know existed. This man was milking the hell out of this topic and told us no tomorrow. And he always had this big emphasis on using magical products to get things done. You have cancer? Take this donkey spine fluid juice at 45-minute intervals 5 times a day and it'll be cured. Like, the amount of absolute bullshit products he's promoted in the show tops any other show I've ever seen. And while you're sitting there probably thinking to yourself, who would ever buy any of this junk? Your mom, auntie, or grandma probably bought one of these products hoping and praying it would work. Or even worse, had the whole family eating the most disgusting Dr. Oz concoctions ever in the name of keeping it healthy. The lies got so bad on his show that he actually got sued multiple times for lying about these products. In one of the cases, he actually lost and had to pay a $5.25 million settlement. He was also questioned by the Senate in a hearing. Like, nigga, how bad does your advice have to be that the government steps in and has to regulate you? You know for a fact one of these government dudes' wives was watching Dr. Oz and had them eating asparagus with salt every night, and they were just like, man, f this shit, I'm fed up with this, put him in the f***ing hearing. The funny thing about Dr. Oz though is that it's not like he's just some fugazi fake doctor on TV who doesn't actually know anything about it. The man is a licensed heart surgeon. So if you're about to get heart surgery and see Dr. Oz walk in, then it's probably better to just pull the plug. He must have got this degree from Roblox University or something, because I refuse to believe this man can actually practice medicine. And ever since the decline and sad ending of the Dr. Oz show in 2022, he's now running for Senate? I have no clue how these career paths even combine, but yeah, he's been in the politics game for a while now. He couldn't have picked a better career though than the one where everyone absolutely lies about everything. It's very fitting. Now this next one is a very, very special person because I never liked them ever since their show was airing or anything they've ever done in their entire life. Wendy Williams. Oh my bad, there's an error on production on this side. Give me a second. Much better. Wendy Williams. The Wendy Williams show was one of the best things to happen to middle-aged mothers and the worst atrocity ever aired to everyone else. The show focused all in on garbage celebrity drama and Wendy giving her wonderful perspective on it. But honestly, looking back at the show, Wendy Williams is very lucky that she's old. If she was born a tad bit younger, then the best chance she would have is being one of those shitty T channels on YouTube. But for a long time, her show reigned down as the #1 drama outlet for women. And it's not like I hate her just because she's a drama outlet that talks about useless celebrity drama. It's the certain way she's gone with the talking she's done. One notable one I'll never forget is when Jennifer Lawrence's nudes got leaked, and after learning about it, Wendy had a positive feminist messages about it and said this.
It's not your choice, it's in the cloud, and I've looked several times. So I guess I'm disgusting for looking. Clap if you've looked at Jennifer Lawrence's hacking pictures. Clap if you're lying because you really did look.
I swear, if I didn't hear her voice and just saw the response as a text, I would think this is some chronic incel on Reddit. I couldn't imagine a single man saying this without being completely canceled, let alone anyone in the year of 2023, honestly. I'm telling y'all, she's just so lucky that she's a bit older and people watching her are absolutely brain dead. Her audience is the definition of NPC. They clap at anything at her will on the show. But oh, I'm not done yet. There's way worse moments too. Like when she was covering a story about how Trey Songz beat his girlfriend in front of people, and in the middle of it just goes,
Assault. Isn't he just so dreamy? Yes. I mean, I do believe I heard, and Norman did too, one of our co-hosts over here, we're not gonna zoom in on her, say, beat me. How are you gonna call people back? And then what if you did see somebody at the party? Oh, I don't wanna be involved. No, I'm not calling. You handle your life over there with Trigger.
Or when she said Terry Crews wasn't brave for talking about his sexual assault. I hope you know if you reverse these roles, it'd be GG's. Or when she... I think y'all get the point. Karma's a bitch though, because if you see her in any recent videos, she is straight up sick and it's actually bad. I want to feel bad because I know she has an actual disease, and seeing videos and photos like this is just... very creepy to me. But at the same time, you did religiously bash people for a decade on TV, so I'ma just take the high road and just keep it pushing. And with this last one, I made sure to save the worst, most disgusting, vile. Okay, we don't gotta waste time with this. It's Ellen. Ellen is the worst talk show host ever. Terrible human being. No one likes her. I'm still so surprised that the Ellen show ran for 19 years because it truly was just so boring. Like, if Ellen didn't have any connections in Hollywood and couldn't bring a multi-famous guest every day, her show would have tanked. Seriously, can y'all name one Ellen episode that y'all have watched in full with just Ellen as the person that day? You could have the Ellen show and paint drawing side by side and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But her being a boring ass individual isn't a crime. What is though is a toxic workplace and sexual misconduct. All that have happened in the Ellen production. I don't know how it got triggered, but I remember one day in 2020, everyone that has ever been in contact with Ellen just came out with a horrible story on her. It was down to the point where there were so many terrible stories. You know, this wasn't just one disgruntled employee that was really pissed at her and wanted to make a story. Some of my favorite ones people have told are, she has a sensitive nose, so everyone must chew gum from a bowl outside her office before talking to her. Every day she picks someone different to hate. Truly embodying the meme, I'd be waking up real early to have extra time to be a hater. I worked at Real Food Daily, served her and Portia at brunch. She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but that it was just on my hand. Almost got me fired. And there's just so many more accusations that I could probably sit here for 10 years and still not be done. The worst part about this whole thing is her show is supposed to be about the super family friendly, amazing kindness to everyone. Be kind to your neighbor, be kind to the ants you walk by on the street. I'm telling y'all, this is the exact reason why I don't donate to charity. It always ends up being the most positive people who do terrible things. And the funny thing is, remember when I was talking about how she's basically nothing without the multi-celebrity guest that she brings on her show? Well, it turns out that she's not even good at that either. There's been multiple cases where she's just completely up at that too. One of which is when she basically forced Mariah Carey to reveal her pregnancy by telling her to drink on her show or she's pregnant. Look at her smiling ear to ear. You would think Ellen would know as a celebrity why she didn't want to tell the public. The worst part about this entire thing is that not long after the show, Mariah Carey actually had a miscarriage that the whole public officially knew about. But my favorite terrible moment from Ellen is the classic cup chair clip. This is that one clip where because a lady took more than one shirt from her shitty merch line on her show, she decided to personally make her a segment on the show to snitch on her, blast her in front of the entire audience and TV audience, and have her sit in the corner like it was timeout time. I don't care how famous you are, there is no world I am ever taking that disrespect just for some shitty graphic t-shirt. And ever since the saddening ending of the Ellen DeGeneres show and cancellation of it, she's been looking more shriveled than ever. I mean, good God, what happened? Did you and the Hollywood elites run out of the children's blood to absorb? Bitch look like a zombie from Call of Duty. Anyways, wrapping things up, I'm really glad this whole era of talk show hosts just kinda died down over time. Nearly all of them are either canceled or aren't running because TV died down, and I couldn't have asked for a better ending. Sadly, we did get a whole new era of this with podcasts, but at least it's at our own will and we aren't forced to watch it. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.